Today is Friday, Parashat Nasso. One of the subjects in the parasha of this week is the subject of Sotah. Sotah is a woman whose husband suspected her of infidelity. In order to clear her name, she's taken to the Kohen and she has to drink from this water. And in that water there's a parchment with some verses written that has the name of Hashem and peace, shlom bayit, peace within a couple. Peace at home is so important that the instruction of the Torah is to have her drink from that water as a test to see if she really committed any sin or not. Hashem is willing to have the name of Hashem even erased just to bring shlom bayit between a husband and wife. Now, shalom is so important. We spoke about it earlier in the week, that shalom is the final word in the blessing of the Kohanim. Shalom is the final prayer, the final verse in many prayers such as the Amidah, the Kaddish, the Birkat Mazon. It's the final subject in all Shisha Sidrei Mishnah. So important is shalom again. We are so careful if we have the name of Hashem written on a piece of paper, not to dispose of it of any way, but rather to do geniza for it, to bury those words, those shemot. But in order to make peace between a husband and wife, the name of Hashem written on the parchment is put in that water in Bet HaMikdash for the lady to drink from it in order to clear her from any suspicion and to clear her name and bring back peace at home. Hashem is even willing to have that. The name would be erased. So important is the idea of shalom and specifically shlom bayit. Now, right after the subject of Sotah, the Torah tells us about the Nazir. The Nazir is somebody who refrains from drinking wine, eating grapes. He has some restrictions that he accepted on himself as a vow. And our sages ask, why are these subjects brought in proximity one to the other? The Sotah on one hand, and then right afterwards, the Nazir. Well, Hachamim explain, Aro'eh Sotah bekir kolah, Nazir min hayayin. A person who sees the Sotah in that embarrassing situation should refrain from drinking wine. In other words, he realizes that she may have gotten into that improper behavior because of having drank wine. Because a person drinks wine, he may become loose with his morals. He may be drawn after the pleasures of this world, about the sorts of desires, and then therefore he realizes that a person has to exert self-control. And one way to ensure that he will not overstep the boundaries is to refrain from wine, which in essence is a symbolic act to say that a person should have self-control. And that is so important, that in life we can be as a eved or as a melech. We can be as a slave or as a king, as a ruler, either as a slave to desires or as a ruler having self-control over our actions. And this idea of refraining from wine is the concept of having self-control. And this is an important principle to always have in mind, is we might see something, and what we see, like in the case a person saw Sotah, he should learn from the experience of others and should have in mind what to do to avoid similar situations that would be wrong. In this case, it says refrain from wine, symbolically meaning have self-control. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen, and Shabbat Shalom.